Hi everyone, welcome to HSA 1102 Introduction to Healthcare. Each week I will do a weekly review of the coursework that's assigned to you and tell you some of the pitfalls to look out for. So it behooves you to watch these because I will tell you some of the things that students have fallen into in the past and that you should look out for, and some of the things that I'm looking for in the grading. Okay. For week 1, your reading assignment is Chapter 1, your Career in Healthcare, Chapter 2, Current Healthcare Systems and Trends. For those of you who have worked in healthcare, this may be more of a review. However, I have had students tell me that they have also learned something new within this class. So just to make sure that you're paying attention doing the work. Okay, so each week we have a discussion, and for that discussion you should post by Thursday so that you can meet the 3 separate days requirement. So what is required of you? You met the requirement. You have not exceeded the requirement but met the requirement. So if you post 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, so you answer the question on Thursday, you answer a question on Friday, and maybe you do 2 separate posts on Saturday, or a post on Saturday and a post on Sunday, then you've answered, then you've done the 4 separate posts on 3 separate days. That gets you a grade of good, which the total points possible on that is 19. If you would like to go above and beyond the required number of posts by posting 5 or more separate posts on 3 separate days, you can earn up to 25 points for the contribution to the discussion section. Now, those of you who do not post the required number of posts, it's going to affect every section. Because I'm grading everybody else based on 4 separate posts on 3 separate days, I have to be fair with the grading. So if you're not posting the required number of posts, I cannot give you full credit for those sections, so you will lose points. And I don't want to see that happen. Alright, so your first response, Chapter 1 discusses thinking like a healthcare professional. Now, notice it says thinking. In your reading in Chapter 1, there is a paragraph titled Thinking Like a Healthcare Professional. Every time I get this assignment, I get answers of what it is to act like a healthcare professional, but not think like a healthcare professional. So do your reading, and for those of you who do not have your textbook, I've included the PDF files in the announcement section. There is no reason you cannot get started on week 1 assignments. So if you tell me you didn't have the textbook on Sunday, and you couldn't complete the assignments, I'm going to say no, I don't accept that, because I provided you with the PDF files. So make sure you're looking at those. Again, Chapter 1, it has a title, a paragraph titled Thinking Like a Healthcare Professional. You can go to that paragraph. You should have done the reading so you can find that paragraph. And this will provide you with the different examples of thinking like a healthcare professional. In your own words, what does it mean to think like a healthcare professional? Now, when it says in your own words, I want you to tell me what you read in the book as for what thinking like a health professional is. What that means is you're not going to regurgitate what is in the book. You're not going to give it to me verbatim. Number 1, it's plagiarism. But I want to hear in your words what you read, basically. And then, so I need 3 examples of thinking like a healthcare professional. Then tell me how you plan to incorporate that into your professional lifestyle. And then think of a time where you encountered someone or something that was unprofessional in nature and in the healthcare arena, and tell me about that issue, and maybe how thinking like a healthcare professional may have made this encounter a totally different type of encounter. But maintain privacy while you're doing this. Response number 2, Table 2-1, pages 39 through 45, lists different events throughout the history of healthcare. So after reviewing those different historical events, I need to see 3 events that you thought were most significant to healthcare overall. Then I need at least 1 event that you thought was significant to the patient, not to healthcare, but to the patient as an individual. And then I need to know what kind of trends and challenges are we facing for the future. And that should not be hard with everything going on right now. There are also some that are listed in your textbook if you're at a loss for that. Okay. Let me go over real quick how I will be grading the discussion posts. Okay, so this is a grading rubric that I will be using to grade everyone's discussion posts. So for the quality of posts, you need to make sure that you're respectful, thoughtful, and that your answers to the discussion questions are at least 150 words in length. Your responses to your fellow students and to me are at least 100 words in length. If not, you'll lose points based on that. And you can see how the points fall out. Relevance to the topic. If you are not on topic when you answer the discussion question, I will let you know that you need to go back to a certain chapter and review a certain paragraph to find the answer to this. I'm not going to tell you where it is. I'm going to tell you to find the specific paragraph. Then it's up to you to go back and find that. Look for those responses from me to get you back on track. By doing that, you won't, as long as you answer the question correctly, you should not lose points on that. Contribution to discussion. Again, did you post the required number of posts on the required number of days, so 4 separate posts on 3 separate days? Then you will earn a grade of good, which is 15 to 19 points. If you go above and beyond the required number of posts, you will get an excellent, which is 20 to 25 points. So did you go above and beyond? Spelling and grammar. And did you further the discussion with your post? Just saying thank you is not a post. And I want to see some thought put into your responses so that you can further the discussion. The whole purpose of this exercise is so that if we were in a physical classroom, we were talking about the topic, I may ask you a question, you would respond, and another classmate would respond, and we would have a discussion about it. That's what this is for. Spelling and grammar. I do grade heavily on spelling and grammar. The reason is that number 1, you're a collegiate student, so you need to learn how to spell and write. Number 2, you are going to be documenting legal documents, be it a medical record or you're doing medical billing and coding. You need to make sure that you're doing the spelling correctly as you're documenting these records, because a misspelling could result in a misdiagnosis, a bad treatment plan, and God forbid, death. So I'm very hard on spelling and grammar. APA, I'm looking for on the discussion posts. I don't need a formal paper. I don't need a title page. I don't need a reference page. I don't need an abstract. What I need is that I need to see that when you're utilizing other people's information, that you cite that information. And then with that citation comes a corresponding reference down below on the bottom of your post. And so that's what I'm looking for. If you don't understand APA, go to the Program Resources section of the classroom. Click on the APA tab and you'll find several resources there. Okay, so we're back to week 1. So for the week 1 discussion, you just need to make sure that you're reading the questions, answering the questions completely. And again, if you're off track, I will try to get you back on track, but it's up to you to go back and read those posts from me and from your fellow students. Your week 1 assignment. Your week 1 assignment is not due until week 2. However, it is a written assignment and there are requirements in between now and the end of week 2. So what you must do is on pages 32 through 34, you'll see the 5-step problem-solving process in the textbook. You will want to start writing your rough draft. You're going to pick out a personal problem in your life. It doesn't have to be healthcare related, whatever it might be, that you want to solve, and use the 5-step problem-solving process to do it. So the 5-step problem-solving process is, First, you need to identify the problem. And oftentimes what we think is the problem are often symptoms. Then you need to gather information on that problem. So you need to go out and find writing on that material or a social group or whatever it might be to gather as much information as you can. Then you create your alternatives for solving the problem based off that information that you gathered. Then you choose maybe one or a hybrid of 2 or 3, and then that's the plan you're going to take action on. Then to evaluate and revise, you need to tell me how you're going to measure this, and measure the success of your choice. And if the choice that you make does not work, how are you going to revise that alternative, or are you going to pick something totally different? Alright, so for this writing project, you will first visit the online OWL and download the submission form. Fill out the submission form and tell them what you need help with. If you tell them you don't need anything or leave the section blank, they won't know where to help you. And then you'll submit that submission form and your rough draft to the OWL, which is the online writing lab. They'll review your paper, making recommendations, sending you an email back with those attachments. Once you get that email, forward that email to me so I have it for grading, and then incorporate those recommendations into your final draft. Now your final draft will not be due until the end of week 2, and you'll have to submit it then. This, you will need a formal APA document. You'll need a separate title page. I do not need an abstract. Do not need an abstract. Your in-text citation should be within the body of your paper, and then a separate reference page. And once again, if you're unfamiliar with this, go to the Program Resources section, click on the APA tab, and you'll find all those resources there that talk about why we use APA, how we use APA, when we use APA, and give you some templates and examples of a formal paper. Alrighty, and your paper must be at least 250 words. It must be in a Word document for the OWL to review it. It must also be in a Word document when you submit it to me at the end of week 2. Okay. If there are any questions about any of this, please contact me. I'm always here to help. That is what I'm here for. I'm here to help you succeed, but I need your help to help me help you. Alright, you guys have a great week, and I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you virtually. And have a good week. Stay well and stay healthy. Oh, and I forgot. Kaiser Live sessions every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't make the Kaiser Live, then make sure you view the recorded version, and then if you want the extra credit for the recorded version, I need a summary of what I spoke about, and I need specific examples in that summary. And that is down below here. Oh, you also have a week 1 quiz. You'll have 2 hours to take that, 15 questions. And then your extra credit is right here. You must write a summary, follow the instructions, and submit it up here. Okay? All right, you guys have a good day.